welcome to the Purple Elephant Show. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and it is officially the weekend. So, for the episode today, I want to talk about the judge. There's also a lot of things going on. What I want to throw out to you guys and gals is that the best site to get the play-by-play of what is happening in all of these states is the Epic. I love saying it that way. The Epic Times. EPOCHTIMES.com. Epic Times. Well, the Epic Times. So you have to do the THE before the EPOCH. TheEpicTimes.com. If you go to that site, they will have all of the states. They'll have Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. And they will have the stories categorized right under the pictures of the states. Like under Wisconsin right now, the last story published on the Epic Times was an hour ago, which the title is Wisconsin election officials say state Supreme Court shouldn't more than likely do something. Let me open up the link. Say the court shouldn't invalidate election. So that, and then 3 hours before that one, it says a new lawsuit asks Wisconsin Supreme Court to declare all Dropbox ballots illegal and block certification. So it has all of that stuff going across all of the states where things are happening. The Epic Times is one of the few sources I trust. I love the Washington Times, and I'm subscribed to both. I'm subscribed to the Washington Times and the Epic Times as well. And then also I check stuff on the New York Post from time to time. And of course, Just the News. John Solomon's website. John Solomon will always have my respect because John Solomon did an amazing job investigating the Russia hoax and bringing out the evidence. Him and Sarah Carter, they were amazing. So justthenews.com, that's John Solomon's website. So that's a reputable site too. However, with the Epic Times, the reason I like this setup is because, as I mentioned before, there are so many moving pieces right now on this chessboard in all of these states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. So many things are happening in these states. It's nice when it's categorized and you can get the play-by-play. And I love the setup that they have at their website. So that's why I'm bringing up the Epic Times. And they haven't paid me to do this. They don't know me. I don't know anybody there. It's not anything like that. It's just if something is very well organized and is credible and reliable, more than likely I will recommend it. And that's what I'm doing right now. So if you read the news, then try theepictimes.com and you'll get the play-by-play on that. So now that I've said that, lots of data scientists are getting involved across all of these states. Some are saying that when it comes to overturning some of these states, that the amount of illegal votes are enough to overturn the states themselves. That's what the data scientists are saying. I had said yesterday during my, it wasn't a morning political thought because I recorded the show in the afternoon. But when I recorded the show yesterday, I had said to you guys that I didn't see anything happening in Pennsylvania in the legislature. I said I just didn't see it. When I heard that woman, and I have to call her that woman, and I actually feel bad about that, but because I don't recall her name, but she's one of the representatives. When I heard her talking, it just sounded like political speak, where they're saying they're doing something, but they're really not doing that much, is the way it came across to me. Steve Bannon seemed to have been into it, and Jack Posobiec was into it as well. But me personally, the vibe I was getting was, well, yeah, we're doing stuff, but we're really not doing stuff. And that's why I said yesterday, if something happens through the legislature, I would be really, really shocked. I said, if there's any type of win that comes out of Pennsylvania, it will be through the courts. Well, there was an article that was posted on the Epic Times talking about what the judge said in her opinion, because she broke down why she made the decision that she made. And the title of the article is, Judge, Republicans will likely win Pennsylvania election lawsuit. Again, like I said, I didn't see anything coming from the legislature. So this is pretty much saying that I was right. This is confirming what I was saying yesterday. And as for the legislature, they have started the resolution process. They started, let me see. I'm pretty sure they've already submitted the resolution. I'm looking for it to see if it was mentioned on here. I could have thought it was there. But for the resolution, for those who don't know, I'll give you a quick 30-second breakdown. For the resolution, within the state of Pennsylvania with the state representatives, they're going the resolution route because they can't go the legislation route. The reason they can't go the legislation route is because any legislation that's ever passed, it has to be signed by an executive. If it's on a federal level, the executive is obviously the president of the United States, which means it goes through Congress. Well, it goes through the House, goes to the Senate. They work all their stuff out. And then once they agree on a final bill and it passes through both sides with the House and the Senate, then it goes to the president's desk. The president signs the bill. All right. In the state, with the state legislatures, they do their thing, work on a bill, create it, and then the executive for the state is the governor of that state. Well, the governor of the state of Pennsylvania is a Democrat. So these Republican representatives already know there's no way in hell that if, even though the state legislature is controlled by the Republicans, even if they passed the bill and it went to the governor of Pennsylvania, the governor of Pennsylvania is not going to sign off on legislation to help President Trump. That's not going to happen. So what they're talking about doing is doing a resolution, which I'll be honest, I don't know how this is going to fly, because usually with resolutions, at least I know on a federal level, a resolution is just a statement. That's all it is. It's just, we're going on the record saying this. There isn't any teeth to a resolution. It's more of a bark, is what it is. It's a bark instead of a bite, is what a resolution is. There have been plenty of resolutions. I remember when George W. Bush was in office and the House had did a resolution condemning the war or something like that. If you were to look up, if you ever have the time, go online and look up all the resolutions passed by Congress. And you will see that it's just, they were just statements. That's all it is. It's like, we got it on the record. So it's a bark. It's not a bite. A bite is a bill. A bite is legislation, not a resolution. So now, as for how the state legislature and internal politics of Pennsylvania work, that I don't know, because I don't live in Pennsylvania. And I haven't researched Pennsylvania's legislature rules. So maybe their resolutions have more bite than bark. But if their resolutions are equal to the resolutions that are in the federal government, it's all bark, no bite, is what it is. So when they were talking about a resolution, I'm just like, well, all right, I guess if that's what you guys want to do. I mean, we know you can't do the you can't do it legislatively, but a resolution is kind of like it would be a waste of time. Yeah, we already know how you feel. You putting it on record, if it doesn't change anything, what's the point of wasting your time with that? You could spin your wheels doing something else. But these are minor details. So that's what's been happening in Pennsylvania. Anyways, so for this, the judge had said And I'll repeat again, Republicans will likely win the Pennsylvania election lawsuit. The judge who ordered Pennsylvania to not certify the results of the 2020 election wrote in an opinion on Friday that the Republicans who filed the related lawsuit will likely win the case. Pennsylvania Commonwealth Judge Patricia McCullough made the assessment as part of an opinion explaining her rationale for blocking Pennsylvania's election certification. A group of Republican lawmakers and candidates sued the Keystone earlier this week, arguing that the state legislature Mail-in Voting Law Act 77 violated the Commonwealth's Constitution. Now, mind you, this is a separate suit, and this is what I'm talking about. And this is why, if you're not following stuff all the time, then more than likely you're gonna miss it. You will miss it. Because what everyone was talking about yesterday was that the appeals court, and that was from the Trump campaign, they lost in the appeals court. That's what a lot of people were talking about. This is a totally separate lawsuit. There are literally dozens of lawsuits going on right now across all of these states. This is just one of them, but I'm going to get back to this. All right. So she said, petitioners appear to have established a likelihood to succeed on the merits because petitioners have asserted the Constitution does not provide a mechanism for the legislature to allow for expansion of absentee voting without a constitutional amendment, McCullough wrote. When ruling on an emergency injunction, judges have to consider whether the party which requested the injunction is likely to win the case or succeed on the merits. McCullough opined that the petitioners appear to have a viable claim that the mail-in ballot procedure set forth in Act 77 contravene the plain language of the provision of the Pennsylvania Constitution, which deals with absentee voting. Pennsylvania said that it has certified the results of the election for president and vice president on November the 24th, while the court was reviewing briefings from both parties. In response, the plaintiffs filed a request for an emergency injunction, arguing that that state need not have acted so fast. It appears that respondents' actions may have been accelerated in response to the application for emergency relief in an effort to preclude any remedial action by this court faster than this court was able to evaluate the application for emergency relief and the answers to it, the plaintiffs wrote. So basically, the governor and the Secretary of State of Pennsylvania were trying to rush through the certification because after suit was filed to get the emergency injunction to receive relief to stop the certification, they're like, this is about to go through. Let's go ahead and run through and certify the state of Pennsylvania before it can even be reviewed by a judge. That's what was going on. All right, so back to this. The emergency request underlined that while Pennsylvania completed vote counting and submitted the signed certification to the U.S. Archivist, a number of steps still remain for the formal certification process to be completed. While respondents may have proactively attempted to avoid potential injunctive relief granted by the court, respondents' duties with regard to finalization of the full election results are far from complete, the filing states. Republican state lawmakers in Pennsylvania released a memo on November the 27th advising that they will soon introduce a resolution to dispute the results of the 2020 election. Again, you just heard how I felt on the resolution thing. But anyways, I'll keep reading. It's almost done. The resolution states that the executive and judicial branches of the Keystone State's government usurped the legislature's constitutional power to set the rules of the election. The resolution declares that the selection of presidential electors and other statewide electoral contest results in this Commonwealth is in dispute, and urges the Secretary of the Commonwealth and the governor to withdraw or vacate the certification of the presidential electors and to delay certification of results in other statewide electoral contests voted on at the 2020 election. So that's what's going on. And that's what the judge said. And the judge said after reviewing this, mind you, they tried to rush the certification through. The Secretary of State for Pennsylvania and the governor of Pennsylvania tried to rush it through while all of this was happening. And the judge even acknowledged that. The judge is saying, no, they have a case here. It seems they violated the Pennsylvania Constitution. Now, this is the thing. Now that this has happened, this may land in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. As I have always said, you don't know what a judge will do when they put on their robe. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court has not been kind to these suits that have been filed, obviously, because a lot of the people on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court were installed by Democrats. So that may happen. What would be weird is that if you have a judge here saying that, hey, what happened actually violates the Pennsylvania Constitution, and then this goes to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which this is a separate suit. This is not the Trump campaign. This is not the Trump campaign. This is a separate, totally separate suit. If it goes to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court and they're like, well, oh, no, it didn't violate the Pennsylvania Constitution, there's probably going to be a few side eyes. I can see that happening. So that is where we're at on Pennsylvania. I just thought it was interesting that the judge explained her rationale as to why she sided with the plaintiff, which is a good thing, saying that, hey, this violates the Pennsylvania Constitution. They have a case. You can't certify this election. You have to put a hold on this. And now it will more than likely go to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and we will see where it lands. Heads or tails, I don't know. Somebody flip a coin. It's anybody's guess. As for other states, I'm just glancing around here on the Epic Times website. Yeah, on this one a day ago, it says, but that's old. That's talking about Sidney Powell files new lawsuits in two states. So yeah, that's already happened. Nevada, data scientists, weird spike in incomplete Nevada voter registration is what I'm guessing is the title of that one. Yeah, voter registrations, use of casinos as home addresses. So there are all types of articles here. Check out theepictimes.com for the play-by-play on what's going on in these states. That way we can see what's going to flip first. And you know what? I missed the war room this morning. Ah, man, I totally forgot about the war room. Okay, I'll have to catch it on podcast. I usually watch it on America's Voice or whatever. But yeah, here we are. Anyways, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for following the show. My episode that I did yesterday hasn't uploaded to BitChute yet for some reason. Don't know why. But for those who listen to the podcast, you can... Obviously, you listen to it there. If you are a BitChute person and you're seeing this episode before you see my Soul Train episode, which was uploaded yesterday, just go to the podcast, thepurpleelephantshow.com, main podcasting platform, The Purple Elephant Show on Parler, the free speech platform, The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram. If you're watching this on BitChute, YouTube, or Daily Motion, had to think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, followed by notification bell for YouTube. That will let you know when I upload new videos. Thank you to everyone for your support, for listening to the podcast, downloading the podcast, and watching the show. I appreciate it more than you know. Until next time, be blessed.